6 months before the wedding, I discover my fiancée's betrayal. Her one true love was back. A week before the wedding, I received the custom-made wedding dress for my wife. Strangely, it was completely different from the style my wife had originally ordered. It was so sexy and revealing, not her style at all. Just as I was about to call and ask about it, the shop called my wife's phone. I answered. The person on the other end said, "Miss Luo, I'm so sorry. The address for your second wedding dress was sent incorrectly. Do you still want this one sent? The recipient is Mr. Pang Jianyi, correct?" My heart sank. Pang Jianyi. It must be Luo Qiao's first love, Pang Jianyi. After 2 seconds of silence, the person on the other end was still waiting for my reply. I said, "No need. Send it to me. I'll give you the address. I'm Ji Nan." After hanging up, I looked at the drunken woman lying beside me, a surge of emotions welling up inside. Almost 3 in the morning, on the balcony, half a pack of cigarettes gone. I can't remember how many hours I've been here. Holding my phone, I'm scrolling through someone's Weibo. This Weibo account, with the ID White Bunny in Memories, is Pang Jianyi's alternate account. 6 months ago, I discovered this account frequently liking my posts. Curious, I clicked on his profile and opened up a whole new world. It turns out that Pang Jianyi has been back in the country for more than 6 months. As soon as he returned, my wife, Luo Qiao, contacted him. How ironic. Even up until now, in our relationship, I've always been the one making more of an effort. As expected, first love is different. Not like me, just a mosquito bite. His posts are filled with romantic moments of their reunion. Luo Qiao skipped meeting clients to pick him up from the airport. They went to eat small wontons at that alleyway stall. She put a hand-knitted scarf on him, and they strolled hand in hand in the snow. His followers envied their love and asked if she was his girlfriend. Pang Jianyi replied with 2 ambiguous words, "Guess." Staring at those 2 words, I laughed. I remembered what I was doing during that time. I was busy with company projects, paving the way for Luo Qiao's career, and making time for our wedding and honeymoon 6 months later. Luo Qiao frequently missed company events. Her explanation to me was that she was developing new clients. I had no idea that this client was Pang Jianyi. I've been working like a dog, but it doesn't matter how good you are to some people, they'll run off with someone else at the drop of a hat. Completely forgetting that Pang Jianyi was the scumbag who betrayed her and went abroad with another woman. I didn't sleep all night, yet I felt no fatigue. Before dawn, I cooked a pot of porridge. Luo Qiao likes to have my porridge the day after she drinks. After cooking it, I stared at the pot of fragrant breakfast, speechless. A voice echoed in my head. "Ji Nan, what the hell are you doing? Aren't you pathetic?" Then I ate the entire pot of porridge, not leaving a single grain for Luo Qiao. I was stuffed, but I enjoyed it. As soon as I finished, she woke up, groaning and getting out of bed. "Didn't you make me porridge?" She frowned at me. "I did." "Then where is it?" "I ate it." Luo Qiao looked at me in disbelief, her beautiful, bright eyes filled with impatience. "Are you out of your mind? Don't you know I need porridge after a night of drinking? You always made it before. Why are you acting stupid today?" I slammed my chopsticks down. I looked at her, smiling, but unable to hide the pain in my heart. Word by word, I said, "Dogs don't eat porridge. Dogs eat shit. If you want some, ask Pang Jianyi to make you some." As I rushed out the door, Luo Qiao was still stunned. I breathed heavily, hoping to calm down. A corporate slave can't afford to waste time. I still have to go to work and earn money. I informed my team that my wedding leave was canceled. I needed to devote myself to work. After a busy morning, I returned to my desk and found a message from Luo Qiao. She said, "Sorry, meeting Pang Jianyi yesterday was just a coincidence. It was my fault for not telling you beforehand. Don't be angry." I was dumbfounded. She sent another message. "Let's have that seafood you've been wanting tonight at the place you mentioned before." My heart warmed. It felt like my dead love had started breathing again. Maybe Luo Qiao was just momentarily distracted. She still had me in her heart. After all, we've been together for 7 years. How many 7 years can a person have? We went through school, found jobs, started a business together. No matter how hard it was, we never gave up. When we rented a basement apartment, we huddled together for warmth. When we were struggling, only eating 2 meals a day, we shared a plate of dumplings and felt incredibly happy. Luo Qiao's family was much better off than mine. Her parents weren't happy with her major, and even less happy with her relationship with me. They cut her off financially in her sophomore year. It was me who stayed with her, helped her, and supported her every step of the way. I was grateful for her love and regarded her as my only partner in life. In this lifetime, apart from Luo Qiao, I wouldn't love another woman. Luo Qiao's family was wealthy, but she wasn't a good student. My family was average, but I was a straight-A student. You could say that our smooth career paths and successful business ventures were inseparable from my help. Without me, she might not even have graduated. But today, this woman seemed to have forgotten my kindness, putting on a flawed performance in front of me. Staring at the two messages for a long time, I suddenly realized Luo Qiao had lied to me about the work dinner last night. She was with Jianyi. She thought I was angry because I had discovered this. I felt ashamed and amused by my own softness. She didn't know that the wedding dress incident had already been exposed. Probably impatient from waiting, Luo Qiao sent me another question mark. I replied, 7 p.m., don't be late. Luo Qiao cheered up and sent me a cute emoji. I watched coldly, my heart sinking. I had only ever seen that emoji on Jianyi's alternate Weibo account. I thought I wasn't strong enough. Knowing that this relationship had soured, I was still clinging to it. The inertia of time was terrifying. 7 years. Over 2,000 days and nights. Even if it were a real dog accompanying me, I would have developed feelings, unable to let go easily. Moreover, before Jianyi returned, we were truly happy, a model couple in everyone's eyes. In our second year together, I designed a wedding dress for her. She insisted that I keep the sketch, saying that when we earned enough money to get married, we would customize the most expensive and beautiful wedding dress based on that design. I smiled sweetly at the time, hugging her and promising repeatedly that I would make her the happiest bride in the world. I took her words seriously. To this day, I didn't doubt Luo Qiao's sincerity at that time. It's just that this sincerity gradually disappeared. Like quicksand slipping through my fingers, unknowingly, silently, I couldn't stop it even if I wanted to. Before going to the appointment, I went back to the small home Luo Qiao, and I shared. A rented one-bedroom apartment, not large, only about 40 square meters. It had held so many sweet memories. I started packing my things little by little. It was strange, even though I hadn't made up my mind to leave, my body was uncontrollably doing these things. Having just packed a bag, I found that sketch from my treasure diary. The charcoal strokes were still textured and clearly visible. The simple and elegant design perfectly suited her temperament. In the bottom right corner was Luo Qiao's familiar handwriting. She wrote, "Thank you, hubby, for the gift. Love you." My nose stung, my vision blurred, and holding the sketch, I finally broke down in tears. I hadn't cried since the incident, but at this moment, I couldn't hold back. I thought, whether it was goodbye or continuing, I should have a good talk with Luo Qiao to make our 7 years together worthwhile. I arrived half an hour early. From the beginning of our relationship until now, I had always been punctual. Mainly, I couldn't bear to let the person I loved wait for me. Time ticked by, Luo Qiao didn't come, and I didn't call her. Luo Qiao was 40 minutes late, and the waiter had refilled my water 3 times. I opened my phone and habitually scrolled to Jianyi's alternate account. 10 minutes ago, he updated his feed. There was a photo. Luo Qiao, wearing an apron, was busy in the kitchen. Even though it was just her back, I recognized her at first glance. Jianyi's caption. 7 years later, she's still at my beck and call, warming only me. What more could a husband ask for with a wife like this? My hands were trembling, but I refused to cry. Losing control and sobbing in such a high-end restaurant would be too damaging to my image. I ordered my food alone, choosing the most expensive and finest dishes, and then slowly stuffed myself. If you had been in this restaurant that day, you would have seen a man sitting by the French window, like an idiot, First waiting for so long he was starving, and then ordering food for one, eating until he almost vomited. Ridiculous. I packed up the leftovers and took them home. Back at the apartment, it was deserted. Luo Qiao wasn't there as expected. After showering, I died on the bed, scenes of Luo Qiao and Pang Jianyi's story flashing through my mind. Luo Qiao and I officially became a couple during our junior year of university. Before that, she and Pang Jianyi, the campus heartthrob, were the perfect couple at our school. He was the most handsome boy, and she was the most beautiful girl. Of course, they were a match made in heaven. At the time, I was just a guy known for my grades. I wasn't romantic or charming, and I looked rather unsophisticated. It was only natural that someone like me would admire Luo Qiao. But I just watched from afar, envious of other people's love. Luo Qiao learned to knit for Pang Jianyi, making him a scarf representing her love during the winter. But when I asked her a few times, she always said knitting a scarf was too tiring. I cared for her, so I never mentioned it again. Unexpectedly, years later, Pang Jianyi was still wearing the scarf Luo Qiao knitted. And I felt like a joke. Her gaze, when it rested on him, was always so gentle and forgiving, full of patience. She would call him coquettishly, Xiaoyi. But when she addressed me, it was always just my name. Pang Jianyi was a flamboyant, tall, and handsome man. Back then, he posted every little detail of their relationship online, so everyone could see their fairy tale romance. Everyone thought they would end up together, going from school uniforms to a wedding dress, including me. Then, during the summer break after our sophomore year, they broke up. Pang Jianyi left without saying goodbye, going to England with another girl. Luo Qiao didn't learn about it until school started again. Heartbroken, she stood in the rain for a whole day, waiting downstairs at Pang Jianyi's dorm, still hoping for a figure that would never appear. For more than half a month, she was like a living corpse. I couldn't stand it. Taking advantage of my mentor's need for new members for a research project, I selected Luo Qiao. I guided her step by step, accompanied her day after day, and under my subtle influence, she finally recovered bit by bit, becoming the sunny girl she once was. We got together that winter. We were eating spicy hot pot on the street when she suddenly asked me, "Ji Nan, do you like me?" My heart skipped a beat. I looked into her eyes. "So, you're not stupid after all? Then, should we try being together?" I didn't hesitate and immediately agreed. Okay. I knew I was far inferior to Pang Jianyi, to the point that I had never experienced the extreme sweetness he had. But at the time, I mistakenly thought this was Luo Qiao changing for me, and I was secretly delighted. I thought she had finally grown up, become down to earth. But I forgot, in a woman's heart, gratitude is not love. It's just that I'm not the one who rekindled her passion. I had dreams all night, and when I woke up in the morning, I had a splitting headache. According to the normal storyline, I should have a fever now, then lie weakly in bed waiting for my heroine to realize her mistake, beg for my forgiveness, and rekindle our old relationship. But the truth is, Luo Qiao didn't come back all night. I stared blankly at the ceiling. The thermometer beeped. I picked it up and looked 36. 3 degrees. Huh. What kind of idle drama dream am I having? I'd better go to work honestly. Before going out, I called a car to send the luggage I packed yesterday to my sister Lulu's house. Lulu called me and blurted out, "Break up? Me? Can you have some sympathy? Can't you ask more tactfully?" No. She couldn't stop laughing on the other end of the phone. "I told you you should break up. The way Luo Qiao looks at you, she doesn't love you, and you still feel sorry for her. You deserve to be unlucky for the rest of your life, understand?" I really couldn't say anything nice for Luo Qiao. She has done ugly things, and all I want now is a good, quiet breakup. When the thought of breaking up popped into my head, I was startled. The thought came so suddenly, yet it felt so natural. I hung up the phone and went to work. Luo Qiao hadn't been here for 2 days. The company functioned well without her. Because I'm here, I was busy until after 3 o'clock in the afternoon before I could catch my breath. I was so busy at noon that I just grabbed a quick lunch. I was starving now, so I quickly asked my assistant to get me takeout. I waited a long time for the takeout, But my assistant came to me cautiously and told me that Luo Qiao had taken my afternoon tea. She came to the company? I frowned. Assistant? Yes. I just got the takeout, and President Luo came and took it. She said you don't like pork chop buns. I almost laughed in anger. I don't like pork chop buns, but I'm so hungry now that my stomach is touching my back. If it weren't for an online document waiting for my signature, I would go to a restaurant for a big meal right now. Why would I order takeout? The reason for choosing pork chop buns is also very simple, because this shop is the closest to the company, and they only have milk tea and pork chop buns. Now I've been busy all day, and Luo Qiao actually took my meal for no reason, without warning. The anger that I had been holding back finally erupted. I called Luo Qiao. Where are you? I'm already out. I have a client. I interrupted her. Please bring my afternoon tea back within 10 minutes. Don't you dislike pork chop buns? She was puzzled. And I'm already driving. Bring it back to me now. I was unprecedentedly tough. Immediately. Ji Nan, are you crazy? It's just takeout, and you're getting so angry. It's unreasonable. Suddenly, I heard a gentle male voice on the other end of the phone. He said, forget it. Ji Nan probably wants to eat it too. Just send it back to him. No, I won't indulge him. Why should he hog something he doesn't like to eat? Isn't that a waste? Luo Qiao was full of righteous indignation. I was about to say something when the call was hung up. Chilled to the bone, I could feel a wave of coldness spreading from my back. That voice just now was Pang Jianyi's. And pork chop buns are Pang Jianyi's favorite. Damn it, I couldn't help but curse. Papa and Ji on my desk, both laughing and crying. In the end, I finished all the work on an empty stomach, and by the time I got back, I was dizzy with hunger. My assistant came in handy at a critical moment. She brought me a pot of porridge. Drinking the warm porridge, my stomach felt much more comfortable, and the churning sensation subsided considerably. After eating, I continued packing my things. Luo Qiao's absence made it convenient for me to move out. I took everything I could and threw away the rest, like our couple's toothbrushes, slippers, and so on. Looking at them was frustrating, constantly reminding me, Ji Nan, you're an idiot. While taking the trash downstairs, I ran into Luo Qiao coming back. When she saw me, her face still didn't look good. I knew it was because I made her lose face in front of her first love. She's always been like this, appearing mature on the outside, but deep down she hasn't changed at all. For the past few years, I've been cleaning up her messes. I thought she understood that we were working together, that I was compensating for her shortcomings. Now it seems I was being wishful thinking. I threw a large bag of stuff into the trash can and stood there, quietly watching her. Have you made enough of a scene? She asked me impatiently, her eyes filled with annoyance. Don't push it. You even dared to yell at me on the phone today. Apologize to me quickly. Otherwise, I won't forgive you. Where did you go last night? I asked. Suddenly, she seemed to remember something, her eyes widening in panic. A client came up at the last minute, so I didn't go to dinner. I'm sorry, Ji Nan. Heh, finally, she knows how to apologize. It's just a pity that this apology came too late. I don't need it anymore. I interrupted her. You can go see clients, but why didn't you call me and let me know? Is it polite to stand someone up for so long without any explanation? It's just a small matter. Do you have to make such a big deal out of it? She frowned. I was all too familiar with this expression. She was clearly about to get angry. This time, I wasn't going to pamper her anymore. Stop shifting the blame. You casually invited me, then completely forgot about me. Now you won't even let me be angry about it. Luo Qiao, don't you think you're going too far? I narrowed my eyes, smiling coldly. Or do you think I should just meekly accept your every whim, without any temper of my own? That's not what I meant. Is your new client's surname Pang? I curled my lip mockingly. Then I look forward to you sharing the project this client brought with everyone at next week's meeting, so that your all-nighter at their house wasn't in vain. Instantly, Luo Qiao's face turned pale as she looked at me in disbelief. I turned and went upstairs, and Luo Qiao followed. I left again with a bag, and she grabbed my arm. Where are you going? Strange, this person clearly doesn't care about me anymore. yet there's a hint of anxiety in her voice now. I said, business trip, flight tonight, attending the Business Elite Summit at 10 a.m. tomorrow. With that, I glanced back mockingly. General Manager Luo, you haven't forgotten about this trip, have you? Luo Qiao remembered, her face full of embarrassment. Sorry, I forgot. I didn't do it on purpose. Understandable. After all, keeping your first love company is more important. Don't talk like that. Xiaoyi isn't that kind of person. Watching him desperately defend Pang Jianyi, my heart completely died. Screw 7 years of feelings. I don't want them anymore. I smiled. I don't know what kind of person he is, and I'm not interested in knowing. I'm just telling you, if you can't handle your new client by next week, you can expect to be kicked out of the company. Also, our relationship ends here. We're breaking up. After saying that, I turned and left. Only when I actually said those 2 words did I realize how painful it was. 7 years of EDD all vanished into those 2 words, disappearing like smoke. Luo Qiao chased after me. I got into the car faster than her. She chased my car and my tears streamed down my face. My whole heart felt like a crumpled piece of paper, wrinkled and covered in ugliness. Pathetic. I was so stubborn that I wouldn't even cry in front of her. She sent me a message. Ji Nan, don't regret this. Regret. Those 2 words aren't even in my dictionary. Stealing my resolve, I didn't delete the chat history. I wanted to keep it to remind myself constantly. Breaking up is painful, but only this kind of pain can help me move on quickly. What I said just now wasn't to scare Luo Qiao. When the company was founded, in order to invest, I contributed all my savings and also took $300,000 from my parents. Luo Qiao only contributed $20,000. The rest of the money came from various investments to get the company off the ground. At the time, we each signed a gambling agreement, requiring us to achieve a certain project amount within a specific time frame. Otherwise, not only would our investments be lost, but we would also be in a lot of debt and even lose our positions in the company. I reached my target amount a year ago, but Luo Qiao was still a little short. Originally, I planned to use this business trip to get her some more clients. I would negotiate and she would sign the contracts. But she wasn't focused at all, thinking she had already achieved success, and started to show her affection for her white moonlight. You probably couldn't find a more resentful boyfriend like me in the whole city. I think I've given her all the reminders I could. I've done my best. After getting off the plane and arriving in another city without him, I felt much more relaxed. For the first time, I felt that a business trip was a pleasure. The next day, Luo Qiao called me. I didn't answer. She messaged saying she didn't agree to the breakup. I didn't take it seriously, just read it and left it. Getting together requires 2 people to agree, but breaking up only requires 1 person to decide. She was the one who initiated it, so I'll be the one to end it. On the last day of my work trip, as I was about to return, Lulu sent me a video. She asked, "Is this Luo Qiao? Your girlfriend? She cheated on you." The 3 exclamation points were enough to show Lulu's schadenfreude. I clicked on the video and found it was a wedding scene. Pang Jianyi lifted Luo Qiao's veil, and the 2 looked at each other sweetly, then kissed. My heart ached slightly, and a huge sense of shame washed over me, but I held back. I replied, "No, I broke up with her before this. I'm so glad I broke up with her quickly. Otherwise, this humiliation would have crushed me." Even so, Luo Qiao still didn't want to break up. When I got off the plane, I actually saw her waiting for me, wearing the dress I bought her, and holding a cake. The unsuspecting colleagues and subordinates around me were all making a fuss. They didn't know I had broken up with her yet. "What are you doing here?" My tone was unfriendly. "Picking you up to go home." She smiled sweetly at me, with my favorite expression. "Lao Gong, don't be angry, okay? I was wrong before. Please forgive me." If it weren't for the events of the past few days being so vivid in my mind, I would have almost been conquered by this superb acting. Her eyes were so affectionate, her gaze so tender. Once, I loved her eyes the most, thinking that the affection in them bloomed only for me, thinking that the clarity could remain forever. But the girl I loved has changed. I can't change it. I can only accept it. In front of so many people, I couldn't just tear her a new one. After all, work is work, and personal feelings are personal feelings. I can distinguish between the two. My grip on the suitcase didn't loosen. I merely gave her a polite smile, then turned to the others and said, "Everyone's worked hard on this trip. You all performed exceptionally well. Go back and have a good rest this weekend, and we'll continue next Monday." "All right, Mr. G. Bye, Mr. G." After bidding them farewell, the smile on my face vanished as I turned to Luo Qiao. "I've booked a car. It should be here. Thanks for picking me up." Instantly, her expression turned strange. Offering someone a way out, only to have them disregard it, probably made her quite uncomfortable, especially since that someone was me. She leaned in, gritting her teeth. "Ji Nan, do we really have to make such a scene?" Seeing I didn't answer, she continued resentfully, "Is it just because of Pang Jianyi? He's back, and now I can't even see him as an old classmate? When did you become so bitter and mean? This isn't like you. You're being such a child." My heart still ached, not intensely, but like a needle pricking the most vulnerable part of my heart. No blood, just a lingering pain washing over me like waves. I gazed at her. "Of course you can see him." Hearing this, she breathed a sigh of relief. "You know that's..." I quickly interrupted her. "Not only can you see him, you can also have dinner with him, sleep with him, even have a wedding with him, kissing amidst everyone's cheers and blessings." Her eyes widened in disbelief, the color draining from her face. I smiled, cold and relaxed. "Why not, Miss Luo? You're single now. Of course you can do that. As long as he's willing, no one has the right to say anything, because you and I are over." With that, I got in the car and left. I didn't look back to see Luo Qiao's expression. There was no need. Perhaps in her eyes, I was still making a scene. Thinking about it now, she really didn't understand me at all. My nature has always been fiery and straightforward at crucial moments. It was only because I fell in love with her that I restrained my sharp edges. The naive me back then only wished for a lifelong commitment, just the two of us. In the end, reality slapped me hard. Looking back now, there were signs all along. Luo Qiao's optimistic and outgoing personality was the complete opposite of my calm and reserved nature. She was enthusiastic about everything, but her passion always fizzled out quickly. Me, on the other hand, I liked to carefully consider everything and persevere after making a decision. I had wondered if we were compatible. Back then, I held her in my arms, and she nestled against me, telling me in the most passionate words, "Ji Nan, remember this. You can only be my boyfriend, mine alone." This confession burned itself into my heart. It dispelled all my doubts. I thought, as long as this girl continued to love me, and I continued to love her, what could possibly separate us? I had a dreamless night, only to wake up with eyes swollen like walnuts. Indeed, letting go of a 7-year relationship isn't easy. I was resolute, but I was also hurting. I forced myself to cheer up. There was still much to do. Finding a place to live, dividing the apartment I shared with Luo Qiao, informing my family that the wedding was off. Just thinking about it gave me a headache. I didn't even have to ask to know what my parents would say. Something like, "You're almost 30, and you're breaking up after all this time?" Or, "We told you to get married earlier, but you kept delaying, and now look, she's gone." I had considered getting married right after graduation, but Luo Qiao said it wasn't the right time. She felt I wasn't capable enough back then and couldn't give her the wedding she deserved. She wanted to wait until we were both more established to give our relationship the grandest culmination. In the end, I didn't get a culmination, I got a full stop. At least I was the one who drew it. A sliver of dignity remained. I'm staying at my sister's place now. After breakfast, I started the busy work of finding an apartment. With savings in hand and a goal in mind, finding a place wasn't difficult for me. The apartment I shared with Luo Qiao was the one I found and rented. I handled the entire process myself. As I was browsing listings, Lu answered a call and then asked me, "Are you planning to keep renting? I have a client who's selling an apartment. Do you want to take a look?" "I have an apartment. We had a place for the wedding, remember?" Once Luo Qiao and I sort things out, before I could finish, Lu rolled her eyes. You're waiting to sort things out with her? Do you think this is a simple breakup? Let me tell you, Ji Nan, this is a broken engagement. There's a ton of stuff left unresolved. You better find a place to stay soon. If you wait, the prices will go up, and you won't be able to afford anything. Her words sober me up considerably. Yeah, I have some savings and can put a down payment on a smaller place. Great, I'll go check it out. Give me the address. I love how decisive you are. With the address Lulu gave me, I knocked on the door of a house. The door opened, and inside was a familiar face. Zhou Haohao. I was extremely surprised. The girl in front of me, half a head shorter than me, was smiling radiantly. It was actually my junior from university, Zhou Haohao. It's me. Long time no see, Senior Ji. Zhou Haohao greeted me cheerfully. Seeing her smile, my mood inexplicably lifted. Zhou Haodao's appearance was ordinary, but her smile was particularly approachable. Perhaps I had been through too much hardship recently, which made me feel a sense of relief when I saw such a smile. I never thought that the person Lulu introduced me to would be someone I knew from university. Not only did I know her, but she was someone I greatly admired. Zhou Haodao was a year younger than me. We studied in the same tutors group and even prepared for a presentation together. Recalling those days of striving for academic research, my heart warmed. Long time no see. I didn't expect to meet you here, Zhou Haodao. Are you the owner of this house? I quickly smiled and got straight to the point. Come in, she said generously, opening the door wider. I was secretly embarrassed. I was really too impatient. I actually wanted to finish everything at the doorstep. Sitting on the sofa, she brought me fruit, snacks, and a cup of Hong Pao tea. I was a little surprised, because I liked Hong Pao. After so many years, even Luo Qiao hadn't noticed, but I stumbled upon it today. I took this as a good start. Thank you, I said sincerely. You're welcome. It's not really a coincidence, because I heard some things about you from your sister. She got straight to the point, the same style as when we interacted before. She hadn't changed, but this topic made me feel uneasy. Did Zhou Haodao know that I'd been dumped? After all, being cheated on is very embarrassing. I forced a smile, the corners of my mouth stiff. Don't feel embarrassed. I think you made the absolutely right decision leaving that Luo Qiao. She doesn't deserve you. Zhou Haodao looked directly into my eyes and said in the calmest tone. Instantly, my heart was embraced by a warm, moist feeling. I hadn't felt wronged before, but at this moment, my eyes reddened. Since discovering Luo Qiao and Pang Jianyi's affair, I seemed to have been very strong. I told myself what was right, what I should do, and I had no time to deal with the already broken emotions. On so many sleepless nights, I would always recall those questions in a daze. Was it because I wasn't good enough? Was I inferior to Pang Jianyi? Was it because I wasn't handsome? That's why Luo Qiao gave up our 7-year relationship and turned to her white moonlight without hesitation. The pain of a breakup was more persistent than I imagined. What saddened me was, I couldn't find answers to these questions, and I could only wallow in self-pity and sadness as I asked them repeatedly. But now, the person in front of me told me that Luo Qiao didn't deserve me. It wasn't that I wasn't good enough. It was that damn scumbag who was blind. I took a deep breath, and my emotions finally stabilized. Zhou Haodao handed me the teacup, which I accepted with a slight choke. I'm sorry. I lost my composure. It's okay. If you're ready, we can continue. I nodded. Yes. What price are you looking for this house? But Zhou Haodao said, have you considered changing brides? Later, when I recalled this moment, my entire memory was hazy. I couldn't remember what Zhou Haodao and I talked about. Anyway, by the time I left, the sun was almost setting. Back at my sister's house, the woman looked at me with a sly expression. How did it feel to meet your old flame? Wasn't it a surprise? She asked. Me? I knew this woman was behind it. It would be strange if she didn't know the inside story. I sneered. You're something else, teaming up with outsiders to trick your own brother. How are you so capable? Tell me, regardless of anything else, were you surprised and happy to see Zhou Haodao? Lulu didn't care about my sarcasm. She always said what was on her mind. I was silent for a moment and nodded. Very surprised and then shocked. I paused again. wants to marry me. She asked me directly if I was willing to switch brides. Lulu, so what about you? What did you say? What could I say? Someone I haven't seen in years suddenly tells me she wants to marry me. Of course I refused. Marriage is a lifelong commitment for a girl. How can it be so hasty? Huh, you're useless. Me? Well, introverted and slow to warm up me couldn't seem to accept a seamless transition. Most importantly, I hadn't yet moved on from my last relationship, and it wouldn't be fair to Zhou Haohao. I was still lost in thought when my phone screen lit up. It was a message from Zhou Haohao. She said, "Don't overthink it. Take it slow. I'll wait for you." My face flushed instantly. Come on, I hadn't said anything yet. How could I take it slow? How could she wait for me? However, I had to admit that Zhou Haohao's straightforward approach worked for me. I wasn't averse to it, and even felt a little secretly pleased. It turned out that someone liked me. I wasn't an unremarkable, unseen Ji Nan. I seriously talked to Zhou Haohao about buying the house, and she immediately gave me a price. The price was reasonable, neither high nor low. I breathed a sigh of relief. I still had tens of thousands of yuan in savings. If I could sell the wedding apartment and split the money, I could buy this small house outright. At the thought of having my own little space, I was finally able to sleep well that night. On Monday morning, I ran into Luo Qiao at the company. Seeing me, her face darkened. Her stare made my scalp tingle, and I felt extremely uncomfortable. There's no way around it. This company is the only thing we haven't divided yet. I don't have the noble spirit to abandon all my hard work and investment right now, so I can only endure it. After leaving the conference room, Luo Qiao followed me to my office. With a bang, she closed the door. Ji Nan, I think we need to talk. Talk about what? I looked directly into her eyes. When are you moving back? Also, I can explain about Pang Jianyi and me. The wedding you saw wasn't real. It was just a show. Pang Jianyi received an invitation, but he couldn't find a female companion at the time, so he had to ask me for help. As for the kiss, that was in the script, not my intention. She spoke urgently, as if afraid that if she spoke any slower, I wouldn't listen. The truth is, her words didn't make me understand, but made me laugh even more. At the same time, I was also incredibly grateful that I had broken up decisively. How could someone so clingy, entangled, and even with questionable values step in a marriage? I should really thank God for letting me discover these things before getting married. Finished, I raised an eyebrow slightly. Ji Nan, believe me, you're the only one in my heart. Really, I laughed, but I don't believe you. Then what will it take for you to believe me? You should know, we've been together for 7 years. How many 7 years are there in a lifetime? We've come this far. We have our parents' blessings. Are you really going to throw it all away because of a small matter? Luo Qiao was actually questioning me, as if I were the culprit behind everything. My heart sank. Since she came to me, then don't blame me for being heartless. I said, let's have dinner tomorrow night. If you stand me up this time, I'll consider you dead, understand? Luo Qiao didn't expect me to say that and was stunned. Of course not. We agreed on the time and place. Watching her retreating figure, I couldn't help but sneer. The next evening, Luo Qiao did indeed come as promised. She had specially changed into a more beautiful long dress, dressed up to the nines, looking even more beautiful. Strange, seeing her like this before would definitely make me blush and my heart race. But today I just glanced at her indifferently, thinking she looked good, but nothing more. Instead, I unconsciously compared her to Zhou Haohao. How could this Luo Qiao compare to the pure and innocent Zhou Haohao? Perhaps being in a relationship adds a filter to the other person. Let's go. I led the way. I had reserved a particularly good spot in the restaurant tonight, right next to the viewing platform. This was a music-themed restaurant where you could dine while enjoying various performances, mainly orchestras or fashion shows. There was a good show tonight. After we were seated, we ordered, tasted, and I didn't say anything more. Luo Qiao looked at me affectionately. I know I was wrong. Don't be angry anymore. We're getting married in 6 months, and you're my only groom. I looked in her eyes and asked word by word, how do you feel about Pang Jianyi? Feel? I don't feel anything. Come on. He betrayed me. That's why we broke up. What feelings could I have for him? Then why did you prioritize him after he came back? Well, I want to get back at him, let him see how the woman he dumped has changed, how he can't reach me now. Her words sounded a bit fake, but I didn't care. I sneered. One last question. Do you think a man like Pang Jianyi, who knows you have a fiancé and still clings to you, is pathetic? Will he continue to betray you in the future? This question almost broke her down. Her eyes flickered with panic, and she didn't answer immediately. I was very patient, gently swirling the champagne in my glass, and asked with a smile, a man who knows that the other person has a fiancé, still takes her to spend the night, kisses her, and holds a wedding, isn't he pathetic? Is this his habitual cheating? Luo Qiao. Such a simple question. You can't answer it. I pressed her until her face flushed red, and fine beads of sweat appeared on her forehead. I handed her a card. You've really outdone yourself. Ordering 2 wedding dresses, one identical to the one from our wedding and another for Pang Jianyi. Are you planning on committing bigamy? Or do you think I, Ji Nan, am so desperate that I can't live without you? The card clearly displayed her record from when she ordered the wedding dress. I purposely kept it and had it specially made like this. I slowly stood up. I think this will be very meaningful to you. Keep it, and I wish you and Mr. Pang a happy marriage. I just turned around when Luo Qiao suddenly roared. Yes, Pang Jianyi is a jerk. He's a shameless bastard. Are you satisfied now, Ji Nan? Hear me say this? As soon as she finished speaking, there was a crash nearby, and a tall figure appeared beside her. A glass shattered on the floor. It was Pang Jianyi. Luo Qiao hadn't expected her true love to be right there. He had heard everything she just said, loud and clear. She rushed over to desperately explain. It's not like that. Let me explain. Ji Nan just forced me to say that. You know him, he was so obsessed with me back then, and now he's being stubborn. I was trying to protect you. I couldn't listen anymore. It was too ridiculous. After 7 years, this was the woman I had loved. Pang Jianyi's appearance was a blessing in disguise. I should help these 2 scumbags get together. I think I was on the verge of a mental breakdown, still thinking about these pointless things at a time like this. Luo Qiao couldn't handle the shock and fainted. Pang Jianyi gave her a strong, princess-style carry, his eyes bloodshot as he glared at me as if I had committed some heinous crime. He lowered his voice and roared. Are you satisfied now? Xiao Qiao's health is fragile. Did you have to see her suffer to be happy? How come I never realized you were this kind of person before? My heart started to ache again. This pain was different from before. It felt like something had broken. I dug my fingernails into my palms, using the sharp pain to remind myself, don't back down, Ji Nan. You did nothing wrong. I sneered. If her health is so fragile, why is she seducing other men? What a slut. I was in a relationship for 7 years, poured my heart and soul into her, gave her everything. As soon as you came back, she was hooked by you. I didn't hit her because I'm civilized, not because she's not a slut. Listen to me, Pang Jianyi. You and Luo Qiao are scumbags, a perfect match. I give you my blessing. After saying the last sentence, I felt incredibly relieved, a smirk playing on my lips. Her health is fragile? Then why doesn't she just die? I hope she dies soon. The sooner the better. I'll send her a huge wreath. Aren't you head over heels for her? I suggest you join her in death. I can order an extra wreath. Taking a deep breath, I scoffed. Don't worry about saving me money. The second one's half price, after all. With that, I turned and walked away without looking back. I knew that this time, I had truly let go. Luo Qiao, Pang Jianyi, they were all just passers-by in my life. To hell with them all. Ji Nan. Luo Qiao suddenly woke up. She frantically called my name behind me, but I didn't turn around. The weight that had been pressing on my heart shattered, and I felt much lighter. That night, I finally slept well. The next day, Lu stared at my eyes for a long time, then nodded in satisfaction. Not bad. Back to normal? Of course. I smiled, finished breakfast, and went out. When I saw Luo Qiao at the company, I pretended not to see her. After treating her like air for most of the day, she couldn't take it anymore and came to find me. You were really too much yesterday. Weren't your words hurtful? Forget it. Luckily, Xiaoyi isn't angry with you. Come with me to apologize to Xiaoyi later, and we'll just let this go. Luo Qiao spoke as if she had everything arranged for me, with an air of self-entitlement that was laughable. I didn't even look up. Are you done? Now it's my turn. We still have a jointly owned property that hasn't been divided. I want to sell it directly and split the money 50-50. You really don't plan to get married anymore? Her voice was cracking. I looked up in surprise. I thought I had made myself clear enough. Don't you understand? If you're unwilling or deliberately trying to stall, I'll send the video of you and Pang Jianyi at your wedding ceremony, including the kiss, to your parents. I smiled. And to Pang Jianyi's parents, too. Don't be so excessive, okay? This has nothing to do with Xiaoyi. If it has nothing to do with him, why are you so anxious? If it's not something shameful, sending it to them is just sharing. I sneered softly. Look, you know this is wrong, but you still did it. And after doing it, you don't allow others to talk about it. You're quite brazen. My words drained the color from Luo Qiao's face. All right, I'll give you one day. Give me an answer by this time tomorrow. Oh, and to sell it quickly, I plan to sell it for 100,000 less than the market price. The loss is yours. I'll take half of the market price. No objections, right? Finally, Luo Qiao left my office in a daze. I think Luo Qiao never thought I would really break up with her, because no one knows better than her how much I cared for her over the past 7 years. Perhaps, precisely because of this, she thought I couldn't live without her. It's also ridiculous. No one in this world can't live without anyone else. I was good to her only because I loved her, and at that time I thought she was worthy of my love. Now, she has crossed my bottom line. I take back my love, and I will not look back. As I expected, Luo Qiao avoided me. She didn't come to the company the next day. Because her frequent absences had become a habit, no one else thought anything was wrong. Some people even handed over her work to me. Just in time, I explained to each of them, I have broken up with President Luo. From now on, we go our separate ways. Her work is her responsibility. Let her come and deal with it herself. Don't send it to me. My words caused an uproar. You know, without me and Luo Qiao together, there would be no such company. For 7 years, she and I have always been a model couple, inseparable. Now I'm telling them that the model couple has broken up, which is simply disillusioning. All day long, everyone looked at me with a hesitant expression. I smiled bitterly in my heart, didn't take it seriously, and went about my business. Luo Qiao disappeared for 2 whole days. On the 3rd day, I received an unexpected call from Pang Jianyi. Mr. Ji, can I meet with you? I have something to tell you. Coincidentally, I also have something to tell him. I agreed and arranged to meet at the newly opened chocolate workshop. It's not that I'm trying to please Pang Jianyi, it's just that I simply like chocolate, and the workshop's reservation happened to be for today. After work, I met Pang Jianyi. As I imagined, this man still had his former style, tall, handsome, and arrogant. Back in school, everyone said that Pang Jianyi was a handsome guy, so refined and gentle, but I knew that such a him was a disguise. His temperament was like this now, following the disdainful, overbearing CEO persona. He acted like that when he first arrived at school, just because he wanted to stand out among the handsome guys. I've always seen it clearly. It's the women who fell at his feet who didn't, including Luo Qiao. Pang Jianyi has always been a man who is good at using his masculine charm to achieve his goals. I ordered a chocolate boat, not for him. Out of courtesy, I handed him the menu. Pang Jianyi glanced at the prices, his face changed, and his smile became awkward. I know, when I left Luo Qiao, you were all laughing at me. Now she's getting better and better. I really missed out on everything. He looked up at me with envious eyes. You are luckier than me. You could be with Luo Qiao now and enjoy such good things. I can't. I picked up a chocolate ball, put it in my mouth, and ate it slowly. Then I said, "You've got one thing wrong. I can afford these things because I have the ability. Without me, Luo Qiao wouldn't even have a diploma now, let alone her current status. I chuckled. You should understand, how smart can a woman be who can be captured by her kind of tricks? As soon as the words fell, Jianyi's face turned pale. He almost lost his composure, staring at me with hatred. I continued to eat, feeling better and better. What? Did I hit a nerve? Where's the politeness you had just now? Ji Nan, don't get too cocky. He gritted his teeth and said word by word. So what if you were with her for 7 years? As long as I come back and beckon, she'll happily leave with me without a second thought for you. He stepped closer, his voice rising involuntarily, as if that would intimidate me. Do you know what we were doing the night you were waiting for her? I raised an eyebrow, looked deeply at him, and remained silent. Jianyi smiled smugly. We were kissing in bed, doing everything a couple could do. Luo Qiao. Oh, she loves being in bed with me the most. She said you're just not as good as me. I unhurriedly applauded him. Great, congratulations. You've even gained some insights from being a loser. I said last time, I wish you and Luo Qiao a long and happy life together. Have you got Alzheimer's and forgotten already? I sneered. I don't want that scumbag Luo Qiao anymore, understand? You're just picking up the trash I threw away. So you don't have to go to all this trouble to show off to me. It's really ridiculous. I couldn't help but laugh. Luo Qiao loves you so much, but you can't even afford a chocolate from this place. Looks like you're not even as good as a prostitute. At least they get paid. You're being used for free. Ji Nan, he roared and overturned the chocolate boat in front of me. I was prepared and stood up in advance to get out of the way. But the beautiful tablecloth and marble floor tiles were ruined, and so was my chocolate boat, which I had barely eaten half of. I looked on with regret. Just then, Luo Qiao came over. Jianyi, as if a switch had been flipped, instantly switched to a gentle and refined mode upon seeing her. Looking at Luo Qiao with an aggrieved expression, I just wanted to explain things clearly to Mr. Ji. Luo Qiao immediately clasped his hand tightly and looked at me provocatively. I sneered. Don't look at me. It was him who went crazy for no reason and ruined the chocolate I ordered. Ji Nan, Luo Qiao noticed my indifferent attitude, and she panicked a little, not even bothering to comfort the white moonlight beside her. Seeing her attention focused on me, Jianyi became anxious. He leaned close to her neck, almost kissing her, his voice gentle, his eyes provocative. It's okay, don't be angry, it was me. I was careless just now. Don't blame Mr. Ji. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have appeared in front of him. I just wanted to explain to him and clear up the misunderstanding. This almost made me laugh. I glanced at the nearby surveillance camera and pointed. Why don't you reconsider what you just said? Looking in the direction I pointed, Jianyi broke out in a cold sweat. I wasn't going to indulge him and sneered. Guess why I chose this spot? It's because I anticipated you'd pull this stunt. Remember, I'm not Luo Qiao. I'm not that stupid. Now the man didn't dare to act up anymore. He hugged Luo Qiao tightly, glaring at me. I slowly stood up, staring at the man's face. Ji Nan, Xiao, he probably didn't mean to. She still spoke from that man's perspective. But I didn't care anymore. I waved my hand. Who's going to pay for this? You or him? This chocolate boat cost 4 figures. I figured Jianyi wouldn't be willing to spend that money, much less compensate me. Sure enough, he gritted his teeth angrily. What kind of chocolate is so expensive? It's highway robbery. The price is clearly marked. One is willing to fight. One is willing to endure. I smiled. Just like when you two were hooking up, you knew it was immoral, but you still did it, didn't you? Luo Qiao was at a loss. Don't misunderstand. Xiao, E and I really have nothing. Who's paying? I interrupted her impatiently. In the end, Luo Qiao paid for another chocolate boat for me. I left with a takeaway box. Jianyi still wanted to chase after me, but Luo Qiao grabbed him. I reached the door, turned around, and sneered. A piece of advice for you. Next time you're alone together, you two should rehearse your lines first. Don't have one saying you slept together and the other claiming innocence. It's quite ridiculous. Instantly, Luo Qiao's face turned ugly. She looked at Jianyi in disbelief. I didn't bother to ask what happened to them later. I don't know what they talked about in private, but Jianyi actually added me as a friend and apologized in the verification message. I didn't accept his friend request. Having this kind of person in the same list as my family, friends, and clients is an insult to them. Luo Qiao hesitated for a few days, but finally agreed to my proposal. She agreed to sell the house. I took her to the agent to sign and list it because it was much lower than the market price. Many people inquired about it as soon as it was listed. Inevitably, I was asked why it was so cheap, and I would answer truthfully. We were preparing for marriage, but now the wedding is canceled, and the house is no longer needed. When I said this, Luo Qiao was right next to me, and I didn't look at her expression. Instead, those who inquired looked at me with sympathy. Me? Actually, I don't think I deserve any sympathy. Marriage is something I look forward to, but it's not the only thing in my life. Finally, a newlywed couple who just came to our city took a fancy to this house, quickly paid the deposit, and agreed to go through the transfer procedures tomorrow. The house was finally sold. I got half of the money and waved goodbye to Luo Qiao. In the parking lot, she stopped me. "Can we go back?" I really didn't let Jianyi touch me. "He made up those words to deceive you because you scolded him that day," she desperately explained to me, her eyes red. I handed her a handkerchief. "Wipe it. Don't cry like this. It's not pretty." She was surprised and delighted, thinking that I'd softened. My next sentence was, "I scolded him because he deserved it. But, Miss Luo, we really can't go back. From a moment you spent the whole night with him and even forgot our agreement, we couldn't go back." I smiled indifferently. "Don't look at me like that. Actually, you know the consequences of doing this, but you still gambled. You just bet that I love you more and can't let you go." But why? Being loved by someone is such a fortunate thing. Why does the person who gives love not receive any response, but also receive a lot of hurt? I looked directly into her eyes. "You're so selfish, Miss Luo. For your momentary pleasure, you ruined our 7-year relationship, and you also gave Jianyi hope that you couldn't reciprocate." Her lips trembled, unable to speak at all. I knew she wanted to call my name. "Farewell. I hope you will be well in the future." I drove away. Actually, I knew in my heart that she couldn't possibly be okay. A man without distant care must have near sorrow. On the one hand, she craved the support and consideration I gave her, and, on the other hand, she wanted to relive the old dreams of her youth with Jianyi. But how could there be such a good thing in the world? I also hoped that besides having a smart brain, I would also have a tall and handsome appearance, but God is fair, and my appearance just happened to be so ordinary. After selling the house, I settled the final payment with Zhou Haohao and successfully got that small house. With some spare money in hand, I invested it. My investment vision has always been good, and this time should be no different. On the day of the move, Zhou Haohao and my sister came to help. Actually, there weren't many things to move. This house was newly renovated, and it was fully furnished with appliances. Plus, I had lost a lot of my old belongings. I didn't like to bring bad memories into the future, so I had to get rid of these things. After moving in, Lu frowned and said, "You have too few things in this house, not even slippers or teacups. I'll buy them this week, and I'll have a small housewarming party later. I must invite you two to come." I was in a good mood and couldn't stop smiling. "I'll cook myself." "Okay." When I saw them off, Lu made an excuse to run away first, leaving Zhou Haohao and me alone. I knew this woman did it on purpose. Sure enough, Zhou Haohao handed me a card. "There's a home furnishing exhibition this weekend, and there will be some nice things there. Are you interested in going together?" My heart stirred, because the card was printed with a decorative doll that I really liked. "Will this be there too?" I pointed to the doll on the card and looked up. Zhou Haohao, "If you don't go, then there definitely won't be." "I'll go." "Ji Nan, the way you talk sounds like you're cursing." "No, I mean I'll go with you." On the weekend, Zhou Haohao came to pick me up. She drove, and I sat beside her, eating the sandwich she brought me, feeling very embarrassed. I couldn't help but sleeping on weekends, and this time was no exception. Honestly, I was a little flattered. No woman had ever treated me like this before. After finishing the last bite, I carefully consider my words. I'm sorry for making you wait so long. I really set several alarms, but none of them woke me up. As I spoke, my voice got lower and lower, and the roots of my ears turned red. Because I had kept her waiting for a full 2 hours. I was too embarrassed to say I was sorry. In my concept, being 2 hours late meant breaking the appointment. Zhou Haohao laughed. It's okay, you forgot. You made me wait before too. I know you'll definitely sleep in on weekends. Her words reminded me of my college days. It was back in my freshman and sophomore years when Zhou Haohao and I were in a study group. We often had weekend discussions about our projects, and I was almost universally recognized as the king of lateness. If it weren't for the fact that I really studied hard and had real skills, I guess those group members would have hated me to death. Except for Zhou Haohao. Every time I was late, she just smiled slightly and said nothing, and handed me a breakfast. It was also because of Zhou Haohao that I developed the habit of not being late later on. Thinking of this, I was even more ashamed. I'm really sorry. I'll treat you to lunch later. Please don't be polite to me. Order whatever is expensive. She was amused by me. Okay. It was a pleasure to visit the home furnishing exhibition with like-minded people, a feeling I had never experienced before. Any little thing could spark a common topic between Zhou Haohao and me. We strolled for more than 2 hours, without feeling the passage of time at all, until my stomach growled and I looked at my phone to find that it was almost 1 o'clock. There were good restaurants in the home furnishing exhibition, and we unanimously chose one of them. Smiling at each other, I felt something else stirring in my heart. Just after ordering, someone suddenly stood beside me. I subconsciously looked up and met Luo Qiao's angry eyes. I was startled, and the next second, my wrist was grabbed by her. Luo Qiao gritted her teeth and said, I said why you broke up with me so decisively. It turns out you've already found your next target. Her voice was loud, instantly attracting the attention of those around us. Those curious eyes focused on Zhou Haohao and me. I didn't mind. After all, I was Luo Qiao's ex. She could misunderstand me. But why should she slander Zhou Haohao? I broke up with you decisively because you cheated on me with your white moonlight. What does it have to do with anyone else? I shot off Luo Qiao's hand and scolded her mercilessly. Stop going crazy here. Don't make me look down on you. Luo Qiao really lost her mind. She didn't listen to me at all. Then why are you with this woman? Are you living together? Are you here to buy things for living together? Ji Nan, why didn't I notice before? You're really eager. So eager for another woman? Slap. I slapped him hard, saying coldly, no matter how desperate I am, I know to break up with you before going out alone with other members of the opposite sex. But what about you? While we were still planning our wedding, you were trying on wedding dresses for your true love, staging some kind of wedding scene with him, spending the night with him, and even kissing him. And then you tell me you were just acting? Are you kidding me? I laughed as I spoke. It doesn't seem like you majored in acting in college. So how are you so good at it? Luo Qiao's eyes were bloodshot. I know I was wrong. I absolutely won't do it again. Please give me another chance. Can we get back together? No. I shook my head firmly. Just based on your lack of composure and your intelligence in shifting blame so casually, I couldn't possibly be with you again. This is just my junior schoolmate. She came to help me move into my new place. Actually, if it weren't for Zhou Haobao's reputation, I wouldn't even bother explaining. We're in a public place, after all. Luo Qiao insisted on speaking like this. I don't care about myself, but I can't implicate Zhou Haobao. Unexpectedly, the girl sitting opposite me stood up gracefully and smiled. Hello, I'm Zhou Haobao. Luo Qiao looked at her with extreme hostility. Zhou Haobao continued. I'm Ji Nan's junior, and also, she paused deliberately, then gave a brighter smile, I'm also pursuing him. My eyes widened, staring at this girl in disbelief. Does she know what she's saying? At a time like this, she should be distancing herself. Why get involved for no reason? I knew it. Luo Qiao was furious and raised his hand to pull Zhou Haobao's hair, but she blocked it effortlessly. Zhou Haobao smiled. I told you before at school, if you weren't good to senior Ji Nan, I would come back to him. It's only natural that he doesn't want you if you don't cherish him and play cheating games, right? I was stunned. Luo Qiao's pupils were also trembling. It's you. I remember you. You were in the same group as him. He gritted his teeth. Zhou Haohao smiled elegantly. Yes, it's me. After all these years, you still haven't given up? Why should I give up? Senior Ji is so outstanding, it would be a pity to miss out. Besides, he's not married yet, so I have a chance. I believe you can't keep pretending forever. Zhou Haohao said, not forgetting to wink at me with a light smile. Senior, I'm different from her. While I was waiting for you, I kept myself clean and haven't dated any other boys. Me? Forgive me. My brain has crashed and completely lost the ability to think. Someone tell me, what scene was that just now? Luo Qiao couldn't take it anymore and rushed up to slap Zhou Haohao hard. This slap successfully sent Luo Qiao to the police station. The furniture shopping trip was also canceled. I accompanied Zhou Haohao to the hospital to treat her wound. Half of her face was swollen, but when she looked at me, she couldn't help but smile, which pulled at the wound, causing her another burst of pain and frustration. I put on a stern face. What are you smiling about? There's no joke written on my face. What's so funny? Nothing. I'm just happy to see you. Me? I appeared calm, but my heart was pounding and my ears were burning. Tell me, you blocked the first one. Why couldn't you block the second? And you got hit so hard. I quickly changed the subject. How would you feel sorry for me if I wasn't hurt? She smiled again, her eyes curving. I was speechless. Zhou Haohao, you're pretty good at acting too. I'm not acting, I really got hit, it hurts. She corrected me. You said those things to Luo Qiao before? When? Back when you two just got together. She recalled. I was only 3 months behind her. I didn't expect you two to be dating when I came back. I couldn't do something like stealing someone's boyfriend, but Luo Qiao really isn't reliable, so I went and said those things to her. If she could make you happy, I would bless you and let go. If she couldn't, then I would come back and make you happy. Her gaze was burning, bright as a star, and it seared itself into my heart. Before I could react, she leaned closer. Can you consider me now? I'm really much better than Luo Qiao. She was too close. Her scorching breath practically brushed my face. I felt as if I'd been burned and quickly backed away. You have to give me some time. I'm a slow burn kind of person. Okay, I have plenty of time. I waited for years, so I don't mind waiting a little longer. She smiled. But you have to promise me that, besides me, you won't consider anyone else for the time being, okay? While I was still figuring out how to respond, Zhou Haohao gently took my hand. Consider this a small return gift from me for the one you gave me. Okay. When she let go, a decorative doll was in my palm. It was the exact one I wanted. I hadn't been able to find it at the home expo earlier and was disappointed, but Zhou Haohao actually managed to get it. She was still waiting for my answer. I looked at the doll, my heart surging. Okay. No one can ignore such sincerity, and neither could I. I never thought that someone as ordinary looking as me would one day have 2 women fighting over me, and even end up at the police station. In the end, I went with Zhou Haohao to the police station to bail Luo Qiao out. Luo Qiao apologized and offered compensation, and Zhou Haohao graciously accepted. Under the supervision of the police officer, they shook hands and made peace. As soon as we stepped out of the police station, Pang Jianyi rushed over and hugged Luo Qiao, showering her with concern. Are you okay? Qiao. You have no idea how scared I was. He even glared at me as if I were the culprit. I ignored him and left with Zhou Haohao. Luo Qiao called out to me. Did you really not move in with her? I didn't turn around, offering only 4 words. None of your business. Zhou Haohao gave me a thumbs up. I realized that as long as I'm merciless towards Luo Qiao, this girl is happy. The trip to the furniture expo was quite fruitful. I meticulously decorated my new place, and looking at everything I loved, my hope for the future was rekindled. I had originally planned to have friends over for dinner the following weekend, but a phone call from my mother disrupted my plans. Her voice sounded somewhat serious. Anan, are you busy lately? If not, come home this weekend. Mom and Dad miss you. Okay. I hung up, having a rough idea of what it was about. My parents are reserved people and rarely say they miss me. The fact that my mom called probably meant Luo Qiao had already gone to see them. When I was about to leave for home that weekend, Zhou Haohao came to find me. Knowing my plans, she wanted to accompany me. I looked into her eyes and said earnestly, "No, this is my own affair. At least it has nothing to do with you right now. I have to go and settle this myself." I thought she would be hurt by my words. Unexpectedly, she just smiled knowingly. "I guess I'd be rejected before I even asked, because that's just who you are. Go. If you need any help, call me." "No problem." I was surprised by her composure and appreciated this unspoken understanding even more. My parents live in another district of the same city. Because it's quite far, over 40 kilometers from where I work, I usually don't go back, only during long holidays to spend a few days with them. When I opened the door, I saw Luo Qiao, unsurprisingly. She was in my kitchen, wearing an apron and bustling about. This sight truly astonished me. I'd been with Luo Qiao for 7 years, and she'd been to my house to meet my parents before, but she'd never been this attentive. Her family was better off, so initially, even her parents looked down on my family a bit. After all, her parents were wealthy merchants, while mine were ordinary workers. Because I was mentally prepared, I didn't show any surprise at Luo Qiao's presence. I changed my shoes, took off my jacket, put on my home clothes, and then went to wash my hands. I did all this smoothly and naturally. While I was washing my hands, my mom came over and asked softly, "What's going on with you and her?" As expected, my mom, being a woman, was perceptive. My dad couldn't compare even if he drove a Lamborghini. That silly old man thought Luo Qiao had grown up and become more caring and expressive. He was currently in the kitchen instructing her on how to make braised fish, which was quite amusing. I dried my hands. "We broke up." "I figures much." "Then what's she doing here like this?" "Unwilling to accept it, I guess." I shrugged. I made it very clear to her. We even sold the wedding apartment. Then I briefly explained the situation to my mom. After learning that I hadn't lost any money, she breathed a sigh of relief, then said coldly, "I never liked that girl from the beginning. She's too picky, always looking down on us. If you hadn't been so stubborn, insisting on being with her, I would never have agreed." She muttered again, "My son, Wang Yufin's son, doesn't need great wealth or status, just someone who understands and cares for you. Why make things so difficult for yourself?" My ears were numb from her nagging, but my heart was warm. Yes, Mom, you're right." We were chatting when someone called us for dinner. The four of us sat together to eat, and only my dad tried to lighten the mood. No matter how oblivious my dad usually is, he could sense the tension between my mom and me. The meal felt like a last supper, so depressing that I almost laughed. Finally, after he finished eating, Luo Qiao busied herself with clearing the dishes. I stopped her. "Come here for a second. I need to talk to you." Luo Qiao, surprised and delighted, quickly followed me out the door. The sunshine outside was beautiful. Luo Qiao and I strolled one after the other in the community garden. We had been here before, but back then I thought we were so in love. Now, things have changed. I stopped walking. "Luo Qiao, you know we've broken up." She rushed in front of me. "Honey, I know I was wrong. Terribly wrong. I made things clear with Pang Jianyi. We're not even friends anymore. I blocked all his contact information. He won't be in my life anymore. I swear, I promise." She cried. I believed her sincerity at that moment, and I believed she truly regretted it. After all, her white moonlight hadn't matured over the years. No matter how handsome he was, he couldn't escape the cruelty of time. How could the rose-tinted glasses of youth stand a chance against reality? Luo Qiao wasn't truly stupid. She knew what was important. But I couldn't trust her anymore. I couldn't gamble my precious time on the promise that her vows would never fade. I wouldn't fall into the same trap twice. I smiled and said, "It's Saturday today, Sunday tomorrow. Your parents should be off. Let's have dinner at your place tomorrow." The surprise in her eyes was almost overflowing. Okay. Since Luo Qiao was a child who hadn't grown up, I needed to talk to her parents. Back home, the atmosphere was tense. My mom had obviously told my dad what happened. The old man was unhappy, still grumbling about how sincerely he had taught Luo Qiao to cook braised fish, a complete waste of his kindness. I was speechless. Please let the fish go. My mom rolled her eyes. You too. Lao Ji, I'm telling you, look at Luo Qiao with her Miss High and Mighty attitude. When has she ever shown any respect in our home? I knew something was wrong the moment she walked in today, but you were so happy. Let me tell you, you're the perfect target for a phone scam. They could fool you in a heartbeat. My dad looked wronged. Not really, I just thought the two kids were about to get married. Seeing her grown up, I was genuinely happy for our Anan. They're not getting married anymore. I reiterated, I'm not that bad off. I don't have to get married. Can I find someone else if I leave her? Exactly. My son is so outstanding. He won't lack admirers. Then I said, I'm going to Luo Qiao's house tomorrow. No way. Dad will go with you. My parents' answers were completely opposite. I smiled. It's fine, I know what I'm doing. In the end, my mom agreed. She knew my personality. I've always been independent and calm. My decision to see Luo Qiao's parents must have been carefully considered. The next day, I bought gifts and declined Luo Qiao's offer to pick me up, driving straight to their house. As soon as I arrived, the door opened, and Luo Qiao was waiting for me with a big smile. This treatment was truly unprecedented. I put down the gifts and smiled. Hello, Uncle and Auntie. Uncle Luo really liked me because he felt I could keep Luo Qiao in check. Also, because of me, his unruly daughter had graduated successfully and had a thriving business, which gave him face among his old friends. But Mrs. Luo didn't like me very much, probably because she thought I wasn't good enough for Luo Qiao. After a few pleasantries, I had just settled on the sofa when Mrs. Luo spoke. Xiaoji, I heard from Xiao Qiao about the misunderstanding you had. Now that you've finally come to your senses, Annie is happy for you. Women, sometimes it's inevitable, especially beautiful women. They never lack pursuers. As long as her heart is still with you, you're the ultimate winner. I felt a wave of speechlessness. However, this sounded like something she would say, so I wasn't surprised. Uncle Luo glared at her. Nonsense. Xiao Qiao was in the wrong. Why get involved with another man for no reason? Does she even remember she's about to get married? If it weren't for you stopping me, I would have given her a good beating. He turned to me. Don't take it to heart. Her mother and I are on your side. We won't accept anyone else as our son-in-law, but you. This approval was hard-won. If it were before, I would have been very happy to hear this. I would have felt that my efforts had finally paid off. But now, I lowered my eyelids and took a deep breath. Uncle, Auntie, I came here today because I have a few sincere words to say to you. Luo Qiao and I have been together for 7 years. During these 7 years, we have shared many wonderful moments. These are precious memories that I will cherish forever, and I won't deny that. But my relationship with her ends here. Ji Nan. Luo Qiao panicked. I looked at her calmly and continued. I can't agree with what Annie just said, so I won't get back together with Luo Qiao. I came to see you today just to make this clear. To be honest, Luo Qiao's recent entanglement has caused me some distress. Considering that we will continue to work in the same company, I want to say some things up front. Luo Qiao's parents looked at me in shock, especially Mrs. Luo. She probably thought I could never leave Luo Qiao, much less say these things. Please restrain Luo Qiao and don't let her have any private contact with me. At the same time, I will also restrain myself. Since we have separated, let's be decent exes and not disturb each other's lives. After speaking, I paused and looked again at the woman I had loved for 7 years. Luo Qiao, thank you for giving me such beautiful memories. I have a clear conscience about this relationship. I won't forgive your infidelity, but I have let it go. You should too. Luo Qiao's eyes reddened, and tears fell. I got up, bowed to Luo Qiao's parents, and turned to leave. There was no need for dinner. I hadn't planned to eat here anyway. This was a notification, not a discussion. I didn't even need a response. I just needed to make myself clear. As I left, my heart felt surprisingly light, as if a heavy stone had been lifted. On Monday, I didn't see Luo Qiao at the company. She didn't come for the entire week. I originally wanted to call her parents to remind them about the contract, but then I thought it was best not to complicate things. It would be misunderstood if I, as an ex, worried so much. This week, the person constantly by my side was Zhou Haohao. The way she stuck to me was also very different. Others would constantly try to confess and flatter, but she dragged me around all day looking for investment projects. Yes, you read that right. While others were preoccupied with romance, she was focused on making money with me, making it so I didn't even have a reason to refuse. It's immoral to ignore money. I won't allow myself to be immoral. After a few days, my interactions with Zhou Haohao gradually became routine. Without so much romance, we focused on being practical. The investment projects she recommended were all quite good. We actively discussed them, sometimes talking on the phone for 2 or 3 hours without ever feeling bored. Until one day, after hanging up with Zhou Haohao, I received a call from Jianyi. He roared with a sob in his voice. "What are you doing? Why can't I get through to your number? Is there something wrong?" I asked indifferently. "You're so heartless. 7 years of relationship, and you just throw it away. Now you're with another woman. Luo Qiao has been out of contact for days, and you really don't care at all?" Jianyi sobbed uncontrollably. I fell silent. Luo Qiao hadn't been to the company these past few days. I thought she was avoiding me out of anger. "You could go to her parents." "I don't know where she is," I said. "Ji Nan, stop pretending, okay? Everyone knows now. Only you can find Luo Qiao. Luo Qiao only listens to you. Are you satisfied now? I've become a laughingstock." He cried and laughed. I could imagine how pathetic he looked without even seeing him. A man who came all the way back to steal someone's girlfriend ended up like this. "Isn't this what you asked for?" I replied with a sneer. "What? I made way for you, and you still haven't succeeded. Your white moonlight charm isn't that great, huh?" You. Suddenly, Zhou Haohao leaned closer. "Can I say a few words to him?" I gave her the phone in surprise. Zhou Haohao said, "Luo Qiao is at North Shore Park in that cherry blossom grove." I was extremely surprised. How did she know? The call ended, and I stared blankly at her. Did you install a tracking device on Luo Qiao? She is my rival in love, after all, and your ex. It's normal for me to pay more attention to her." She paused. "Besides, if she remained missing, you would also be in trouble, and I don't want you to have any trouble." This hidden tenderness deeply touched me. Thinking back on the time I'd spent with her, the subtle flutter in my heart began to grow more apparent. I was falling for Zhou Haohao. It wasn't just admiration for her appearance, but the resonance with her soul, a shock that made me unable to forget her. This was an experience I never had with Luo Qiao. I held her hand. Can you please go with me?" She didn't even ask where I was going, just smiled and agreed. "Okay." North Shore Park, Cherry Blossom Grove. This was once Luo Qiao's and my sacred place of love. Back then, when we had just started our business, it was hard enough to make ends meet, let alone go to expensive dating places. I often brought her here at that time. This was a free park, no charge. We had made many, many beautiful memories here. The past was like smoke, gradually fading away. I found Luo Qiao under a cherry blossom tree. She didn't know how long she had been sitting here. She looked haggard and her eyes were vacant. "Luo Qiao." I called her name. "Anan." She looked up at me blankly. Seeing that it was really me, she became agitated. "You came to find me? Are you taking me home?" "Anan, I knew you couldn't bear to leave me. I really know I was wrong. Let's get back together, okay?" The same words over and over again. Honestly, I felt a wave of emotion, but nothing more. Jianyi rushed over and hugged her. "Qiao Qiao. Thank goodness. I finally found you. You scare me to death. Why didn't you answer the phone? Why didn't you talk to me? Didn't you tell me you could never forget me?" Before he could finish, Luo Qiao pushed him away hard. Slap, slap. Luo Qiao slapped him hard on both cheeks, leaving Jianyi stunned. He covered his face and stood there, looking at her in disbelief. "Get lost. Scumbag. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, Anan wouldn't have left me. I can't forget you. Don't flatter yourself. You were a scumbag back then, and you haven't changed a bit all these years. Don't think I don't know that you went abroad to sleep with those rich women. I think you're disgusting, understand? You're not even worthy of shining Ainan's shoes, and you still want to be with me. You piece of trash, get away from me. Jianyi was dumbfounded. His face turned ashen, and he finally reacted, turning to leave. Probably because he was too angry and ran too fast, he tripped and fell, looking even more pathetic. I couldn't bear to watch. Luo Qiao looked at me. Nan, you see, I really have nothing to do with him anymore, so I didn't have the patience to wait for her to finish, and took the initiative to hold the hand of the woman beside me. Luo Qiao, let me introduce you. This is my girlfriend, Zhou Haohao. Luo Qiao's breath hitched, and she looked at us in disbelief. I continued. As an adult, you should be responsible for your actions. Running here without a word. Do you know how worried you've made your parents? Frankly, Luo Qiao, you seem to have never grown up. You're still that reckless girl from college. But I have grown up. I can't wait for you. My fingers intertwined with Zhou Haohao's. Stop wasting time on me. If you keep this up, you'll be kicked out of the company. Without me, you still have parents who love you. You wouldn't want to disgrace them because of you, would you? Luo Qiao fell silent. Her gaze fixed on our clasped hands. Really? Is there no chance? I shook my head firmly. What if I beg you on my knees? Luo Qiao. Impatience colored my expression. Don't make me look down on you. She froze for a moment, then gave a bitter laugh. Finally, she left. She got in her parents' car and went home. I breathed a sigh of relief. It's good that nothing happened. If something had gone wrong, I couldn't afford to compensate. Unexpectedly, Zhou Haohao chuckled. That's not necessarily true. Me? How would you know if you don't try? I'm still here, aren't I? Me? Is that even human language? Anyway, I couldn't listen to it. And so, Zhou Haohao and I got together. Life didn't seem to change much. We still interacted the same way as before. I could feel myself becoming more and more dependent on her. That natural fondness didn't need to be spoken. We both knew it. Luo Qiao ultimately couldn't stay in the company. But because of my prior warning, Uncle Luo had made preparations in advance. He spent a considerable sum, finally allowing her to leave with dignity. When she left, Luo Qiao gave me her shares. I wasn't polite with her, acquiring them at market price. I had made quite a bit of money investing with Zhou Haohao previously, so taking over these shares was more than enough. During the share transfer, Luo Qiao said, "Can I treat you to a meal? It seems like we haven't properly said goodbye." No, I can't let my girlfriend misunderstand. I politely refused. A faint bitterness tinged her lips. It was obvious. I'm going abroad. It's likely we'll never see each other again. I said, the best exes are supposed to be like dead people. This is good. She was choked up, then laughed after a while. But I vaguely saw tears shimmering in her eyes. Ji Nan. I looked at her suspiciously. All right, goodbye. Goodbye. We both knew in our hearts that we wouldn't see each other again. Some people, once they turn around, are gone forever. There's no need to reminisce, no need to be sentimental. She's just on a different path than me. She can't take my happiness away. Luo Qiao went abroad. Jianyi, however, stayed. He went crazy looking for Luo Qiao and soon became a celebrity in our city. That day after work, he flashed out like a ghost, startling me. Ji Nan, you've hidden Luo Qiao, haven't you? Give her back to me. Give her back to me. I couldn't break free. He was gripping me tightly. At this moment, I understood that sometimes TV dramas aren't just acting. When some people reach the point of despair, they really do erupt with unimaginable strength, like Jianyi now. Suddenly, he pulled out a dagger and slashed his wrist. Blood gushed out instantly, and I was terrified. Jianyi, let Luo Qiao see me, or I'll die in front of you. He shrieked, irrational. A figure flashed out, instantly dislocating his arm. With a clang, the dagger fell to the ground. Jianyi crumpled to the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. Are you all right? The person came to me, and I realized it was actually Zhou Haohao. I shook my head, a bit dazed. Why are you here? He had a weapon. Don't get so close to him. Do you know that when I saw him holding a knife to you, my heart almost stopped? She ignored my question, her brows furrowed. Are you really not hurt anywhere? She checked me from head to toe. This seemingly exaggerated gesture sent a wave of warmth through me. I'm fine. It turned out that a person's favor and concern could be so obvious. Zhou Haohao didn't care who the person on the ground was. Just because I was threatened, because there was danger near me, she could rush over to protect me without hesitation. My heart settled. I took her hand. It's all right. He only hurt himself, not me. But you, a girl, rushing out so recklessly is dangerous. I, a man, can protect myself. Zhou Haohao glared at me. Usually you're so cautious. How could you freeze up at a critical moment? Is that dagger in his hand yours? Does it obey your commands? How do you know he wouldn't hurt you? Idiot, next time you see this kind of person, don't just stand there dumbfounded. Run, you got it? If there's a stick or hammer or something nearby, just whack him with it. If he dies, it's on me. I'll find you the best lawyer. I'll make sure it's self-defense. If that doesn't work, I'll pay the compensation for you, don't worry. And if worst comes to worst, if you go to jail, I'll wait for you. I'll hold down the fort for you. Zhou Haohao blurted out. Me? I didn't expect her to be serious. Blinking, I cleared my throat. You're too pragmatic. It's not that serious. Zhou Haohao very rarely blushed. It's a habit. Habit of what? I didn't understand. I have a habit of thinking a lot and thoroughly about things concerning you. She looked like a child who had done something wrong. I chuckled in amusement. So that's how it is. I held her hand to reassure her, then looked at Jianyi, who was still crying. His injured wrist was bleeding profusely, staining his clothes. But you won't die from this, I said indifferently. It'll hurt and injure you, but that's about it. Jianyi looked up at me in despair. Why? Luo Qiao clearly said she couldn't let me go. She also said she was loyal to our relationship, but she still messed around with you. I retorted, spreading my hand with a light scoff. You'd be a fool to believe the promises of a cheating woman. Then what should I do? He wailed. I came back because of what she said, and now I have nothing. My reputation is ruined because of her. Looking at Jianyi, I couldn't help but recall his dashing figure back in school. Back then, he was the dream guy of so many. Even I, to some extent, envied his looks and physique. But now, the former heartthrob had fallen from grace, a shadow of his former self. I sighed inwardly. Stop crying. Let's get you to the hospital first. On the way, Zhou Haohao and I held hands. Neither of us spoke. Her fingers kept tracing circles in my palm, ticklish and warm. After Jianyi's wounds were treated and the medical bills paid, I told him before leaving, if you want to change, come to my office at 8:30 next Monday morning. If you want to continue wallowing like this, and you come looking for trouble again, I'll call the police. Jianyi stared at me blankly, as if he didn't recognize me. On the way home, Zhou Haohao asked me, why did you give him a chance? I didn't want to, but I have to consider the bigger picture. You know, the merger we've been working on for so long is about to start. I can't afford any slip-ups at this critical juncture. I smiled faintly. I have to freeze this time bomb, at least temporarily. She understood. It looks like we're on the same page. I was just thinking about having him come to my company, but then I thought it was disgusting. What if he does something weird to me? I couldn't help but laugh. She gripped my hand tightly. Seriously, if I had suggested that, would you have minded? I thought carefully. Initially, yes, but I trust you. You're not like Luo Qiao, I said, rubbing her hair. We exchanged smiles, warmer than before. Early next Monday morning, Jianyi arrived. Is your wrist feeling better? I asked. He paused, then nodded. I have a position for you, a 3-month probationary period. This is your job description. I got straight to the point, handing him the prepared documents. If you don't understand anything, you can ask the secretary or brotherly in the first row. If there's still something you're unsure about, I suggest you learn and observe more. Got it. Jianyi glanced at me uncomfortably, then nodded firmly. Giving a former rival a job is a decision many wouldn't understand. Actually, in my view, I've always disliked the cheating Luo Qiao the most. Jianyi comes second. A lover with a restless heart. Even if there wasn't Pang Jianyi today, there would be other men tomorrow. This is also why I would never get back together with Luo Qiao. I've always had high work standards, and Pang Jianyi got scolded quite a bit in the beginning. Several times his face turned livid, but in the end, he endured it and continued to do the work I assigned him. It turns out there are no truly stupid people, only those that don't put in the effort. After the initial struggles, Pang Jianyi finally got on the right track and started doing an outstanding job. 3 months later, the merger was completed, and our company reached new heights. Pang Jianyi finally passed his probation. On the day he became a permanent employee, I gave him 2 choices. Either stay with my company, or I would recommend him to another company. No probationary period, direct employment, and the salary and benefits wouldn't be worse than mine. Pang Jianyi quickly chose to go elsewhere. This choice didn't surprise me. Before leaving, he asked to treat me to a meal. I originally wanted to refuse, but he looked at me earnestly. We haven't had a chance to talk properly. I really have no ulterior motives. I just want to have a good chat with you. Perhaps it was another kind of light in his eyes that moved me, and I agreed. Pang Jianyi was sincere about this meal. The restaurant he chose wasn't cheap. A meal for 2 would cost him at least half a month's salary. After ordering, he began with a wry smile. I owe you an apology. I'm sorry. Someone like me really doesn't deserve your kindness. I originally really wanted to steal Luo Qiao from you. I always thought that an ordinary-looking man like you wouldn't be my competition. I was wrong. I tasted the thick soup. You were indeed wrong. Ji Nan, you are much better than me. No wonder Luo Qiao and Zhou Haohao both couldn't forget you. I really can't compare to you. I also feel very guilty for everything I've done before. His eyes reddened, and he choked up, unable to continue. This time he was clearly much more sincere than before. I smiled faintly. Actually, you don't need to thank me. Helping you is also helping myself. He stared at me in astonishment. A few months ago, you were in a really bad state. I was afraid you would come and bother me again, so I might as well find you something to do. In the end, being able to secure this position wasn't because of me, but because you worked hard enough. As soon as I finished, Pang Jianyi's lips trembled. Ultimately, he didn't say anything more. After dinner, I returned home and saw a post he made on WeChat Moments. I'm Pang Jianyi, and I'm sorry it took me so long to post this. I've been struggling internally. Just a few months ago, because of my ignorance and stupidity, I broke up a couple who were very good together. I thought I would be the special one in her heart, but reality told me that being the third party really deserves hell. I still can't forgive the pathetic me back then. But he didn't kick me when I was down. He gave me a second chance. That's when I realized how big the gap between us is. I have so much to say to him, but every time I see those eyes, I can't bring myself to say it. I think I'm not qualified because I was a shameful third party and I hurt him. Because of his help, I can finally start over, and I'm getting better and better. Here, I sincerely want to say to him, I'm so sorry, and thank you so much. Without you, there would be no Pang Jianyi today. He also shared this post on his Weibo, including his alt account. Everything about Luo Qiao on his alt account had been deleted, and the name had been changed to the one he usually used. I read the content carefully, speechless for a long time. It's good that I've moved on, and so has he. Zhou Haohao hugged me from behind. Don't tell me you were touched by this. I just feel emotional, not touched. I didn't expect Pang Jianyi to thank me one day and even apologize to me. I smiled. Did you forgive him? Some things are just in the past and can't be repeated. Just like some people are not meant to be friends. Isn't it good to let go of the past and become strangers again? Forgiveness is too big a topic. I can't handle it. She nuzzled my shoulder affectionately. Take me to your house this weekend. So, soon? I asked suspiciously. Didn't you say we could wait? I am waiting, but the progress bar has to move forward little by little, she said matter-of-factly. I couldn't help but laugh and couldn't refuse. This weekend, I took Zhou Haohao home. After months, I finally brought a girlfriend to meet my parents again. My parents were so happy they couldn't stop smiling. Zhou Haohao is different from Luo Qiao. She's the kind of girl that elders like. Gentle, well-behaved, witty, and knowledgeable. My dad chatted with her for a while and then whispered to me, "This one is much better than the last one." Then, when it was time to cook, Zhou Haohao insisted on showing off her culinary skills despite my parents' objections. I wanted to join the fun, but I wasn't allowed. The three of us were banished to the living room sofa. I sat there blankly, watching the busy figure in the kitchen, feeling surreal. Am I dreaming? My mom jabbed me hard with her elbow. "What are you looking at? Is there a place for you to sit here? Hurry up and go." Just like that, I went into the kitchen. Zhou Haohao glanced at me and chuckled. "Help me peel that potato." "Okay." I hurried to help. She skillfully tied an apron for me. Those warm fingertips lightly touched the back of my neck twice, like a dragonfly skimming the water. I couldn't help but feel my heart race. She cooked, and I assisted. We didn't talk much, but the understanding was hidden in our movements. An hour passed, and Zhou Haohao had made 5 dishes and a soup, which amazed me. Unexpectedly, "You're really good at cooking," I complimented. "Of course." The corners of her mouth turned up, full of pride. My parents were extremely satisfied with Zhou Haohao and wished they could have me marry her right then and there. The family ate and chatted, and she sincerely asked, "Uncle and Annie, I want to take Ainen home to meet my parents during National Day. Do you agree?" Agree, my dad said with a smile. My mom nodded repeatedly. "National Day is good. There's a holiday." Me? My cheeks flushed as I peeled shrimp for Zhou Haohao the entire time, as if there was no chance for me to speak. Zhou Haohao looked at me with a smile. "Then it's settled. Ain't it okay?" Okay. I nodded vigorously, feeling for the first time that being led by the nose like this seemed pretty good. Looking up, the girl in front of me had a gentle smile, and those deep eyes seemed to see into my heart. She picked up a piece of my favorite dish for me. "Ainen, try this. See how my cooking is." I thought, this is probably happiness. How long does it take to forget someone? 1 year, 3 years, or 10 years? It has been 11 years since I left the country, but I still haven't forgotten Ji Nan. Sometimes I think I've forgotten him. I can go for several months without thinking of his name, but then I'll casually turn around, see a cluster of flowers on a street corner, and the thought will involuntarily pop into my head. This is the color Ji Nan likes. Then my mind goes blank, followed by a helpless sigh. I think I'm really pathetic. More than 10 years after leaving someone, I realized I really can't live without him. There's probably no one more ridiculous than me in the world. I clearly had happiness in my grasp, yet I still let it slip away. Just because I arrogantly thought I had 7 years of history with him. A man gave me the most vibrant years of his life. He was so unremarkable, so ordinary. Besides me, what other woman would have taken a liking to him? The day I contacted Jianyi was quite accidental. It was my college roommate who told me that Jianyi was back and kept asking about me. As soon as I heard this news, my heart stirred slightly, and something long hidden suddenly surfaced. I originally wanted to ignore it, but that evening I attended a social event and saw Jianyi there. He was still so handsome, but this handsomeness no longer moved me like it used to. That night, when he was being given a hard time and kept looking at me, all the blood rushed to my head, as if I was instantly back in college. I didn't hesitate to stand in front of him and deal with those people. After all, I was no longer a nobody in this circle. After years of hard work, Ji Nan and I jointly owned a decent company. My net worth and reputation also rose, and everyone addressed me respectfully as Mr. Luo. The admiration in Jianyi's eyes made me dizzy, especially when he looked at me with such tenderness. My reason flew out the window. He said he came back because I once mentioned in an online chat with him that I still hadn't gotten over him. Please, I just said that casually. Who would have thought he'd take it seriously? When he forcefully embraced me, my hands didn't push him away. At that moment, Ji Nan's face appeared in my mind. His clean-cut, resilient, optimistic, and generous face. Although he didn't have outstanding looks, there was always a hint of determination in his eyes. I thought, he loves me so much, even if he knew, he would probably forgive me. After all, I never thought of actually doing anything with Jianyi. This was just a revisiting of an old dream. Dreams always wake up. After I wake up, the only person who can stay by my side, who can become Mrs. G, is me. I wandered between two men like this, with Ji Nan's calmness and restraint on one side, and Peng Jianyi's gentle affection on the other. The scales in my heart gradually tilted towards Peng Jianyi. At that moment, I was intoxicated by the joy Peng Jianyi gave me. Peng Jianyi wasn't like Ji Nan. He wouldn't ask me about work, wouldn't talk about clients, and wouldn't talk about future plans. The eyes of this man who had betrayed me and then regretted it were now full of me. I was satisfied with this gaze and began to gradually become obedient to Peng Jianyi. I even ordered a wedding dress specifically for Peng Jianyi, just because when he saw my wedding plans with Ji Nan, he said, "I know I'm not worthy of being with you anymore, but can you leave me a memento? I just want once. Just once." My heart softened again. I thought I would completely break it off with him after this. Things didn't go as I planned. Ji Nan still found out that Peng Jianyi was back. I don't understand why he was so agitated. Obviously, nothing happened between Peng Jianyi and me. We were completely innocent. At most, I could only be considered to have strayed a little. But his attitude was very firm. He insisted on breaking up with me. I was angry too. 7 years, such a long relationship. And Ji Nan could still end it so easily. Why couldn't he learn Peng Jianyi's gentleness? I know it was wrong of me to break our date that night, but Peng Jianyi was sick, and he only had me in this city. How could I just sit idly by? Actually, looking back on this period later, I realized how terrible I was. What Ji Nan cared about was never who I was with or what I did that day, but that I had completely thrown him to the back of my mind, immersed in the tenderness Peng Jianyi created for me. I wanted to reconcile with him and booked the most expensive hotel. But Ji Nan deliberately extended his business trip. I knew he didn't want to see me. At this time, Peng Jianyi accepted a promotional advertisement and invited me to film it with him. I was just holding back a lot of anger, so I agreed. During the filming, Peng Jianyi temporarily changed the script and requested a kiss. Under the camera, he looked directly into my eyes and whispered, "Let me fulfill this dream. It's just acting, okay?" Before I could react, he kissed me. But I didn't refuse either. Peng Jianyi's kiss made me feel like I was back when we were in love. We were both prominent figures in school, a match made in heaven, unlike Ji Nan. Peng Jianyi was so handsome, so outstanding. Perhaps there was always a regret hidden in my heart. If only Ji Nan was a bit more handsome. Things began to spiral out of my control. That night, I went to Peng Jianyi's place. He was very enthusiastic and proactive. I still had some lingering feelings for him. The man in front of me was still my first love, whom I had deeply loved. In an instant, I fell. Except for the final step, we did everything we could. Suddenly, my phone rang. I woke with a start from a feverish dream, grabbing my phone. It was a reminder alarm that Ji Nan had set for me. It read, "Don't forget to take your medicine." Ji Nan's smiling face kept appearing before my eyes. Peng Jianyi embraced me from behind. "Qiao Qiao, just this once. After tonight, I'll return you to Ji Nan." He was practically naked, but I wasn't going to continue down this path. Pushing his hand away, I quickly got dressed. "Don't tell anyone about tonight." Peng Jianyi's eyes quickly reddened. What do you mean? I won't be with you. I only have one fiancée, and that's Ji Nan." My resolve strengthened. He was stunned. "Then why did you tell me you couldn't let me go?" "There are plenty of things I can't let go of. Do I have to pick up every single one?" I didn't look at him. "Enough. Doing this much is already crossing the line. Let's save face for each other." I really regretted it. I almost completely betrayed Ji Nan. Then what difference was there between me and the Peng Jianyi I had previously scorned? I checked Ji Nan's flight and went to pick him up. I wanted to have a good talk with him to clear up everything that had happened. We were about to get married. I didn't want to lose my husband over such a small matter. Unexpectedly, he seemed to have truly let go. Looking into his calm, indifferent eyes, I panicked. I never imagined he would have seen the wedding promotional ad Peng Jianyi and I had shot, and the kiss we shared, until he said those words, "Because you and I are over." My heart shattered. Watching him leave without looking back, I couldn't bring myself to chase after him, and didn't even know how to explain. I regretted it to death. If I hadn't booked that wedding dress, hadn't filmed that so-called advertisement, none of this would have happened. Ji Nan wouldn't have been so heartless. Sometimes I hate that I remember these things so clearly, but I just can't forget. His kindness, his coldness, his final release. I can't forget any of it. Ji Nan and I broke up. My parents, who had never approved of him, surprisingly didn't help me either. My mom wanted to talk to him for me, but my dad stopped her. He scolded me directly. I'm ashamed to have raised a daughter like you. If you have any self-respect, hold your head high. You made your own bed, now lie in it. Who are you crying to now? Have you no backbone? Not long after, I went abroad. I gave the company to Ji Nan. He gave me money, not owing me a thing. Before boarding the plane, I returned the money he transferred to me. I don't know if he ever noticed. Life abroad wasn't easy. My dad was determined to toughen me up, giving me no funds, no resources, making me start from scratch. It was then that I realized how much that man had shouldered when Ji Nan and I started our business. Turns out, starting a business wasn't as easy as I thought. It was just that he was more capable than me, taking on most of the burden. I really didn't know how good I had it, and I lost him. I was, after all, trained by Ji Nan. 10 years was enough for me to rebuild my own world. 11 years had passed. Could I go back and see him, and let Ji Nan see that the person who lost him was different now? You should be married by now, right? The opportunity to return came suddenly. A friend in China extended an invitation, and I took this chance to return to my homeland. It was a grand business summit. I knew I would see him. I knew he would be exceptional, but he still far exceeded my expectations. When my friend led me to him and introduced us, the man's refined composure was like a gentle breeze. Those eyes, just like before, were clear and bright. This is the vice president of the business summit, Mr. Ji Nan. I thought he would pretend not to know me, but he extended his right hand generously. Long time no see. Long time no see. I fought back the surge of emotions and gently shook his hand. He quickly released my hand and turned to greet others. Right in his eyes now. What difference was there between me and an ordinary friend? My friend was surprised. You know President Ji? Yes. He's a legendary figure in the country. And his wife, she's incredible. Is his wife? Surname Zhou. Yes. They're the model couple in our circle. Don't you think they look perfect together? My friend pointed somewhere in the distance. How could I dare look? I forced a smile, a bitter taste in my mouth. Yes, they're a perfect match. I realized I was in love with Ji Nan after that debate competition. He was a last-minute substitute, but his performance was astonishing. He was calm, collected, and unruffled. With his powerful logic and profound knowledge, he refuted the opponent, leaving them speechless. At that moment, this ordinary boy seemed to shine so brightly. I like this kind of boy. He's a year ahead of me, but we're in the same research group. Seeing him every day has become a habit. Watching him ask questions, speak, and express his thoughts, his every word and action tugged at my heartstrings. Ji Nan is so brave. Later, during a dorm chat, I realized that others didn't think the same way I did. In the girls' dormitory, the most frequent topics were relationships and boys. They often discussed who was more handsome, who had a better figure. These topics were boring, and I usually didn't participate. But that day, the dorm leader, who slept in the bunk above me, curiously asked, "We've discussed so many, but we don't know what kind of girls Zhou, our academic god, likes. Yeah, tell us, is the school heartthrob Pang Jianyi or Liwan?" Pang Jianyi, Liwan. Who are they? I've never heard of them. Without thinking, I answered, Ji Nan. I think Ji Nan is the most handsome. The dorm fell silent. Then they all laughed. Seriously, Lao Zhou, you think Ji Nan is the most handsome? I admit that his grades are excellent. He's in a league of his own, but... Sister, how can he be called handsome? You must have never seen a real handsome guy. Come on, we'll take you to see Pang Jianyi, and you'll know what handsome is. I coldly closed my locker door. What's not handsome about Ji Nan? His eyes are so beautiful, bright, and his smile is so radiant. Moreover, he looks very intelligent, a clever kind of handsome. I frown slightly. I've never even heard of the guys you like. Have they ever been on the honor roll? Instantly, the dorm fell silent again. Later, I learned that the honor roll, which Ji Nan and I frequently graced, was as unattainable for them as the sky. As for Jianyi, whom they mentioned, he was probably only fit for the confession wall. I had originally planned to confess to him after he secured his postgraduate recommendation. I happened to get a spot in an international youth exchange program, and unexpectedly, by the time I returned, Ji Nan already had a girlfriend. Her name was Luo Qiao. Because of this, I finally figured out all the so-called handsome boys and beautiful girls in the school. It turned out that Luo Qiao's ex was Jianyi. Ji Nan must have had a crush on Luo Qiao for a long time. I sighed inwardly. It seems that love, like studying, requires early action. I regretted missing out on Ji Nan the first time, but I also knew clearly that Luo Qiao was too young. Her personality wasn't suitable for him at all. The probability of them lasting was very low. Don't doubt it. I calculated it. After reaching this conclusion, I applied to a prestigious university abroad for further studies. I thought, I have to prepare myself before Ji Nan becomes free again, so that when that day comes, I can succeed in one fell swoop. Finally, after 7 years of waiting, that day arrived. I met Jianyi abroad. At that time, he had been dumped by his wealthy girlfriend of many years and had a notorious reputation among international students. I arranged for him to be sent back to China through someone else. I secretly took care of the airfare and visa. I wanted to deliver this time bomb to Luo Qiao. If, after 7 years, she could resist this temptation, then I would offer my sincerest blessings. If she failed, then don't blame me for snatching Ji Nan away. My beloved boy deserves the best of everything, including his partner. Just as I predicted, Luo Qiao didn't even last a week and quickly became entangled with Jianyi. People, after a long time, forget their initial intentions and let their past promises go down the drain. Luo Qiao came from a well-off family. Her mother doted on her, and apart from her breakup with Jianyi, she had barely experienced any setbacks. Beneath her optimism lay cowardice and selfishness. It's a pity that Ji Nan didn't see it. Soon, Luo Qiao's affair was exposed. It wouldn't have been so fast, but I didn't want to wait any longer. The day after I returned to China, I contacted several media outlets and publicized their wedding commercial. It was just a small channel fee, no big deal. Sure enough, Ji Nan saw it. I understand Luo Qiao, and I also understand Ji Nan. His character wouldn't tolerate such a thing. They broke up. It was my time to shine. I contacted his older sister, Lulu. After all, I'm her boss now, and she wouldn't dare disobey me. I finally re-entered Ji Nan's field of vision. This time, I chose a direct approach and asked him if he would consider changing brides. He was startled. It doesn't matter. The Ji Nan I know is always bold and meticulous. He will realize I'm not joking. I came here for him. As we spent time together day after day, I became even more certain of my choice. Ji Nan was worth my 7-year wait. He is my destined other half. From holding hands and falling in love to exchanging vows in a white wedding dress, everything went smoothly, without a hitch. So much so that later, this man would think it was too smooth, like a dream. He had no idea that I had been waiting for a long time. Opportunity favors the prepared. After marriage, I gave birth to twins, and we remained as sweet as ever. He made the company flourish, and I didn't fall behind, continuing my investment ventures. More than a decade later, when we both came to our senses, we found ourselves standing at a very, very high place. I saw Luo Qiao again at a business summit. When I saw her walk towards him, my heart tightened involuntarily. It had been a long time since I felt this way. I didn't expect Zhou Haohao would still be nervous after all these years. I watched them intently. I didn't relax until he shook her hand openly and then quickly let go. He really had completely let go of her. In his eyes, Luo Qiao was just someone he once knew, nothing more. But I was still jealous. He walked up to me and asked, "Who's going to duo and Shuai's parent-teacher meeting tonight?" I suddenly hugged him and quickly kissed him on the lips. He laughed, his ears turning slightly red. "What are you doing? Look where we are." So amusing. I rarely see Ji Nan like this. He looks so handsome when he blushes. As expected, I have the best taste. Our Anan is the most handsome. I want to stick to him. I gently held his large hand around my waist, just marking my territory so no one else gets any ideas. See, my husband still loves me the most. He didn't push my hand away but held me even tighter. Honestly, he just spoils me.